Alrighty, what is up YouTube? G-String Reviews here. Today is going to be the official review for MLB 14 The Show. Definitely a phenomenal game, but I will be covering the expected and the unexpected, as well as the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, there was a lot of good things to say about this game, but to be honest, they missed the mark on what they could have done. There was a couple of things that they just could have hit harder. That's kind of a pun, I guess, because it's a baseball game. But, yeah. Anyways, though, I'm not going to wait for the loading screen, but I'll just get straight into it. The graphics, as you just saw there, it's obviously just a picture of him, but nonetheless, it kind of leads up to what the rest of the game is, and as well as the background being an actual generated background. It's not a real background in that loading screen. It was an actual in-game loading screen. So they really did or an in-game feature. They really did a great job with the graphics. I mean, everything was really just pristine. That's expected, though. Unfortunately, even for most games, it's not like it's expected. You're expected to have a good game, but for this game being as good as it has always been, you set the bar for yourself, and if you don't push that bar up, a whole bunch farther, then you're missing the mark. Now, they did push that bar up, I will tell you that, but they didn't push it up, they didn't boost that bar up to above and beyond. I mean, they've done it before, where they've done so much better than last year's version, but with being, the new version, on top of that being in a new on a new console, the PlayStation 4, they really should have done a overly phenomenal job. The graphics are good. Graphics are close to great, but I wouldn't put them. I'd probably give them about a 9. They're not phenomenal. They're very good, though. I will admit that. Not only the graphics, though, the entire movement of the game, the flow of the game, everything moves very, very well. When you're batting, you're pitching, you're anything, it looks like a real pitcher, player, runner, or whatever. It's always looked that way, though. So once again, even for as good as it is, the competition, which used to be the 2K version of baseball, which sucked, by the way, they actually dropped their game because obviously the show is way better. So, yeah. There's no competition anymore, so if you do want to play any baseball games, you're going to have to get this game. But I will say that it's always been great. So once again, that's expected. That's not really anything, like, wow, they have great game mechanics. No, that's expected. Not only that, though, yes, it does get better. The flow of the game moves very, very well. When you're playing the game, a lot of games, especially the older ones, they felt like you were there and you were just playing an hour long of video games, and it was kind of boring and slow. Baseball is boring and slow unless you're playing the game. And it feels like you're actually playing the game. So they really did a nice job with that. It doesn't feel boring and slow, no matter what the score is, no matter what inning it is. It doesn't feel like it's too much. It feels like it's perfect, no matter how far you go. They actually do have some different settings you can switch on or off to make the game go even faster than it already is. You can already skip cutscenes and everything, but the game will actually just put you, they'll just take out all the cutscenes 100%, and there will be no cutscenes. And then you can also switch it even to a more extreme setting, and you can make it so you start the count in a later count that goes for pitching as well. So you automatically start off being late in the count. So that would, honestly, I don't think would be too fun. It would kind of bring back the level of strategy you could have, but it would speed the game up to probably about 20 minutes if you did that, rather than an hour if you watched all the cutscenes, and probably about 40 minutes, or maybe 35 if you just played how I play, and just skip all the cutscenes and everything, unless something cool comes up. So yeah, as you probably saw here on the main menu, it is sexy, yes, but they do have many modes, many a mode. Yes, that's kind of a weird way of saying it, but obviously these three on the left have always been there. They're expected. Once again, expected. That's what's expected of this franchise. Yes, kind of funny. I'm on franchise mode, but of this franchise, the show is expected to have these great three game modes. These other three are not as expected. I don't know if they had them in last year's version of the game. I personally did not have last year's version of the game, so I cannot say that they did or did not. Practice, home run derby, postseason, they've always had. Challenge of the week, I believe, is a new thing, though. It's literally just a challenge every single week. You have to get as many points as you possibly can using the batter that they select for you and the pitcher that you're opposing against that they select for you. You run up the score, and you could potentially get a prize. It depends on whether they have the prize that week or not. Community challenge is pretty much the same thing. You use studs to actually go through and kind of, I guess, play for something. They sometimes the user, the owner of that challenge, they make it so it's free, but usually they're you have to cost, or you have to pay to play, and then you obviously get a reward for playing. Diamond Dynasty is pretty much my team. It's pretty fun. There are some intricate details to it. This is not a Diamond Dynasty strategy video though, so I'm not gonna really say anything about that. But yeah, so to be honest with you, they really hit the mark on all those things. But to be honest, everything they did was expected. It wasn't really like, wow, I didn't expect this at all. It was, okay, I expected every single thing they did. You want to exceed expectations. They did not do that with this game. Now, is it a good game? Yes, but they did not do that. Now, why they didn't do that, I'll actually get into right now. One of the bigger reasons is the online. It's a good online. It might just be my connection, but it's a little bit glitchy and a little bit laggy. It does it a little bit too often, I would say. And, it is new, but overall, the servers have been pretty well. They have not been shutting down at all, so I gotta commend them for that. However, it might be my connection, it might be my opponent's connection, but the online is not great to play. It's not something that you want to go out and play like you're just dying to play. You might want to actually just play offline, So one of the other big things that kind of made it a little bit boring, the last time I actually played this game was the 2010 version of this. And actually, I also played the 2008 version of this with my friend, in between the period of 2010 and now, because I've always wanted to play this game again, but I haven't been able to. And he has the 2008 version. He's a little bit behind, but he is. You know who you are if you're watching this video. Yeah, and the name calling, where they call out your player. My players is Bubba Watson, so when they call him out on the intercom, it's Bubba Watson. So it sounds really staged. All the jokes they say, all the wow, that was a really close pitch. All that stuff. It's the same from 2008. They need to get some new freaking audio. I don't care if you use people who are not from the Fox News channel or Fox Sports channel, I guess. You need to get new audio. You should be getting new audio every single year. Maybe you can keep some of the stuff, but you don't want to keep every single thing. It's a little bit boring. It really is. Especially for a player who, me being that player, coming up from 2010 version of it, actually 2008 version, because that's the most recent I've played, and they've actually still had all the same audio commentaries. So you really need, a player like me coming up and expecting, glory for at least the audio part. I expected the visuals to be great, and it's not there. It's a little bit of a pain. It's definitely realistic. If you're new to the series, it's fine, but it's not fine for people who have been hearing the same stuff for 6 straight years. It's a little annoying. They really need to change that up. So the only other big drawback is the interactions. You don't have any interactions with your coaches, your players, your media, your anything. Now, they've never had that. But me coming from NBA 2K14 and pretty much playing a story mode, it would be nice to be able to see that in this game. Now, I wouldn't really call it a con, but it's a drawback. It's something that they, maybe a suggestion actually, that would probably be better way to phrase it. It's a suggestion. Definitely something they should definitely do. To have more interaction with your coaches, with your teammates, with the media, with everything. They do that so great, it makes it feel great in NBA 2K14. So they really should bring that into this game, and that would just make it above and beyond. If they did that in this game, I probably wouldn't. I would probably just look straight past the cons, and I would just view this game as God's gift to Earth. But they didn't do that, so that's my one big suggestion, capital, underlined, and exclamation point. My other, it's not really a con, it's kind of in the middle, it's kind of just a comment actually, the studs, which is the VC from NBA 2K14 players, or actually NBA players in general, or NBA 2K players in general. It's your virtual currency, basically. The studs, which is pronounced with a D, actually, like Daryl, Danny, Diamond Dynasty, whatever. Yeah, they can actually be a little bit of a pain in the ass. On the receipt that you get for the game, you get 30,000 studs. Now, when I actually did come through and go to the guy who had sold me the game at GameStop, he told me, "Oh, don't worry, there's probably only about 100 on there." So when I found that there was 30,000 on there, it was a little bit shocking. And then I spent them all on my player, which or Road to the Show, whichever way you want to say it. If you did watch the last video, then you already know that. But yeah, so they can be a little bit of a pain. I made my player go from a 65 overall to a 95 overall in about 3 weeks because I didn't want to spend it all at once. So I could have made him go in one day. So that's kind of a disappointment, I guess. Anyways, though, that is my personal perception of the game. Definitely a game you want to get. Buy it new, buy it used, I don't care. This is a fun game to play, even for players who don't like baseball. I have a friend who doesn't even like baseball. He doesn't play it, he doesn't know anything about it. He has the game and he loves it. So if you don't even like baseball, it's honestly still a game that you might want to get. At least try out, But overall, I give this game a solid 8 out of 10. To be honest, that's my rating based on what I think they could have done. My honest rating is probably about an 8.75, somewhere around there. Or maybe let's just round it up to a 9 for what they actually did. But me personally, I expected more. I expected the world in this game. They didn't deliver it, so I'm giving them an 8. Yeah, I grade hard. So, yeah, anyways, though, make sure that you subscribe, comment any of your thoughts, especially comment the player who you think should be on the title screen, the third player. I did name Troy Tulowitzki and Clayton Kershaw as the other two, in addition to these three, and then obviously Derek Jeter over here. But, yeah, so name that third player in the comments section below. Like the video, definitely, and share my channel all around so you can help me get more subscribers and hopefully get better quality videos. Now, actually, about that, I returned the HTTP VR. I did have an unboxing on that, but I did return the HTTP VR. The reason for that was, I'm going to get my computer and my everything at Best Buy in a couple days. So in the return, time was pretty much gone for Amazon.com, which is where I bought it from. Now that's not the reason it broke, or it wasn't working though. The reason apparently was that the Turtle Beaches, they hear sound through the PlayStation, not through the audio 3.5mm jack. So yeah, so I returned that. When I go to Best Buy, I'm just gonna pick up another one. That one over there, I've already gone there. That actually comes with a microphone, so that should work. If it doesn't work, then I know something's wrong. But if it doesn't work, then worst case scenario, I just put post-game commentary into there, and then I kind of do it that way. So, yeah, anyways, though, like I said, make sure you subscribe, share my channel all around, and help me out here. Alright, thanks.